My name is Jared. I'm one of the application experts over here with MLC. Been with the company now for right around a little over 4 years or so. But we're going to be talking about training and just how it can unlock some benefits that you wouldn't really think about. Kind of doing a deeper dive into why you might want to take training with us. One of the things I want everyone to know about me is that I am actually a former student of MLC. I attended their essentials training and sheet metal training in 2013 when I was with my former company. And so I've kind of seen things from both sides. I've got to see it from being employed with MLC and actually delivering this training, helping people learn things, as well as from the student side, where MLC helped me to ramp up my skills and help make me that much more efficient. And honestly, whenever I got back from that training, I was showing people that I worked with how to do stuff that they had never heard of. So it's just one of those situations where it's like, you don't know what you don't know. Since we're on the topic of training, I usually like to share this map. This is the geography that we operate in. So as you can see, we've got quite a few training centers that are located near some of the bigger cities in our territories. So anywhere you see a star, that's where we actually hold live instructor-led public classes and such. So you can see we're pretty large geographically, spread out, and we try to operate near where our customers operate at. So real quick, just before we get too far into the weeds of anything, here's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about why training is important. We'll cover the different types of training that we offer. We'll really kind of hone in on essentials training and what all that entails, why it's a good idea to take it. And then I've got some student testimonials that we'll kind of close off with afterwards. So why is training important? Well, I've got a nice little acronym. I know it's impressive, right? MLC. Well, the first thing I want to cover, training is going to help you maximize your investment. You or your company has purchased some expensive commercial grade software, right? Either SOLIDWORKS or Mastercam. So in order to maximize that investment, you've really got to take training to know all the tools and functionality that are inside of that software. We're also going to help you learn how you can be more efficient and effective. So we're going to teach you all the little shortcuts, kind of the why behind everything, as far as like orders of operations and why you should do certain things. And that's going to help you cultivate your expertise. Because let's face it, like the people that come to our training and are using SOLIDWORKS and Mastercam, these are degreed engineers. These are machinists who've been, running CNC machines for decades even. So, basically what we're doing with our training is helping you cultivate those expertise and leverage like your imagination through our software. So that's the why behind why training is important. It's going to basically help you, your company, achieve your business goals. As far as the different types of training that we offer, we'll kind of do a little bit of a deeper dive into this. Of course, you've got something called on-demand training. And this, everybody's aware of it. You can go to YouTube and you can see some guy trying to show you how to do something in SOLIDWORKS or Mastercam. And the level of quality can fluctuate significantly between those different video types. I will say MLC's YouTube, we've got a pretty high quality standard. So if you check our YouTube channel out, Marcus, he's on the webinar today. He does a great job of curating some of our content and sticking it up there. Another type of on-demand training that some of you guys might be aware of is something called Solid Professor. Solid Professor has been around for quite a while, and MLC has recently partnered with them to where we include a subscription to Solid Professor with your subscription of SOLIDWORKS. So pretty sweet deal. It's just a great product. You can log in inside of your SOLIDWORKS task pane even and search for videos that are very specific, that are very well made and easy to digest and learn from. So super cool product. Again, that's what we would call on demand because you can learn at your own pace. Now, this is more of our bread and butter kind of training, our traditional type of training, what we would call live instructor-led training. That's your traditional, hey, I'm going to go to an MLC office and there's going to be an application expert with real world experience training me how to use this software. So again, we can do that. We can deliver that type of training in person at one of our many office locations, or we can also deliver that online. We have, with the event of COVID that happened, we had to improvise and adapt. So we started delivering that live instructor-led type of training online. And to be honest, I do that a lot, and it is extremely effective. I would say just as effective as doing an in-person class. Although it's nice to be able to kind of meet and greet people in person, the training itself is just as effective when you do it online in like a GoToWebinar or a Teams meetings type of fashion. With that live instructor-led training, you're going to get a training manual, which just has a slew of information. It's a great resource for whenever you finish taking the training. You can go back and kind of look at some of the case studies and exercises that are available. And you get a certificate of completion. So, if you keep records of your professional development, or if your company does, you'll have a certificate of completion that you can print out and stick in that file. And I think one of the overlooked benefits of going with a live class is you get to build a relationship with an expert, either like me or one of my many colleagues. I've taught dozens of SOLIDWORKS classes, and I still have people that will reach out, shoot me an email or give me a call if they have questions about stuff. So you get to build that relationship as well. And then finally, don't forget about custom training. So custom training really starts to make sense whenever you're talking about having like a cross-product type of curriculum that you want to follow. So for instance, maybe your company uses SOLIDWORKS and Mastercam. If you need to cover things that are in both of those softwares, we could put together a custom class specifically designed for what you're trying to achieve. Another reason that you might want to go that route is if you have like a company-specific curriculum. So an example of that, recently I had an oil and gas company that had a really complex thread type that they wanted to design, and they were running into some trouble with it. So I put on a custom class for them, basically taught their engineering team how to use a particular method. So very specific types of curriculum that can help. And then, of course, if you're running into issues with just, hey, I've got 8 people on my team, I can't mobilize everybody and send them, to your office location and put them up in hotels. That's just not doable. Well, guess what? We can come on site whenever you have, situations like that. So mobilizing one trainer is a lot easier than getting 8 people out of the office and wherever else we would be having a class. So that's another situation where it really makes sense to do custom training. All right, this brings us to our next conversation topic, which is the essentials training. And look, we offer essentials training for all of our product lines. So SOLIDWORKS, SOLIDWORKS Simulation, Mastercam Lathe, Mastercam Mill. There's essentials for all of those. And this is just an analogy that I kind of came up with, okay? I like archery, I like shooting and stuff like that. So let's say you bought this really nice high-end crossbow and you have a fancy scope on it, okay? Well, if you don't learn how to focus that scope, you're not really going to be able to hit your target. And that's kind of what the essentials is going to do for you. It's going to bring that software into focus for you. That way you can achieve the outcomes that you purchased that software for. And this kind of training is literally, it's absolutely, like the name implies, it's essential to your success. Like hands down, everybody who uses either SOLIDWORKS or Mastercam professionally, you need to take an essentials class. It's just, the return on investment here is just, it's outstanding. It's a no-brainer. So we're gonna cover all of the things that you need to learn to be successful with that software. And not just like picks and clicks and shortcuts and like little fanciness like that. We'll cover that, but in addition to it, you're also gonna understand and have a greater concept and understanding of the why behind, why you do things in a particular order of operations. So if you are interested, I do want to make sure everyone's aware that if you're interested in taking some of our live training, you can go to our website. It's just MLC-CAD.com. Just click on the training bar and you can see a full list of any of our classes that we have that are upcoming. And you can even truncate that list by location or by class type. And if you want to, you can, see the syllabus for that particular class to see exactly all of the details that class is going to cover. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the testimonies that our customers have given us. So this testimony right here, and I think this one's pretty nice to go to, because this is actually a custom training class that we delivered. And this particular customer was actually from overseas, and they flew their team into our Houston office to have us deliver that training. There was 6 weeks of custom SOLIDWORKS and Mastercam training. So, I mean, when you're talking about somebody who's willing to go to that length to have this level of quality of training, I just think it really speaks volumes here. But they were just happy with the entire experience, just very successful, well-structured, easy to understand. So we were really happy to deliver that. Another one here, another custom training student. This person kept it simple and to the point with his review. Hey, with this training, he understands all the flaws he's had, and the problem solving is going to be easy moving forward. And then finally, to kind of hone in on that essentials training again, this was an individual who attended one of our essentials classes that had been using the software for years, been using SOLIDWORKS for years, okay? Understood a lot of what was going on in the course, but still learned so many tidbits that just helped him, become that much more efficient and well-rounded. I have another testimonial that I want to share here.
If you could describe MLC's training in 3 words, what would you say?
Covers it all. Look no further. Yeah, MLC is definitely the class you want to take. If they're offered in your area or an online class, I can't speak to the online, didn't take that one, but the in-person class, I would not hesitate to take another one. Covered the basics, but went deeper in a fun, efficient manner. Learned everything I feel like I need to know to do probably 80% of what we do. SOLIDWORKS seems like one of those programs where the more you know, the more you realize you don't know. Mm-hmm. So obviously there's lots more classes you can take, but the essentials class seems to teach you everything you need to know for everyday stuff.
Again, guys, the main reason I wanted to share some of these testimonies is that it's one thing for me to come up here as an MLC employee and kind of share why training is important. But when you hear it from someone who's actually taken the classes and been on the receiving side of that, I think it just kind of drives home the point really well.